Here's a segment from a recent Gun Talk radio episode. You can listen to all the Gun Talk radio podcasts however you tune in, or check out guntalk.com for more. Let's grab Paul, say what's going on here. Hey, Paul, how are you, sir?
Howdy.
Good.
I'm an Uber driver, and it occurs to me there are times when I may need to defend my life. And the problem is, Uber has this policy where you cannot carry, but we do. I don't know one Uber driver who doesn't.
Good.
Yeah, but try to visualize this with me. If I had a problem, I'm sitting at the driver's seat. The problem is either going to be in the passenger seat or one of the people behind. And given that, it's going to be easy for whoever the assailant is to control my arm if he wants. It's also difficult to crank your hand over where you're actually doing something to somebody sitting directly behind you, or worse, beside you. So I go, gosh, where would I keep a gun? And how could I use it under those conditions?
Okay.
And it also has to be concealed because I don't want a passenger to see it and go tattling to Uber.
Right. So what did you come up with?
I came up with dropping it in my left-hand cargo pocket of some cargo pants. It's concealed. I can get it if I have to. In fact, if I'm struggling and flopping around in my front seat, it's not like I'm looking for it somewhere in the car, which I may not be able to locate in the middle of a fight.
Right.
And I selected the Ruger LCR. And the reason is, one, it's small, it fits there, it doesn't weigh very much. But I get 8 shots of 22. And I figure if I'm shooting over my shoulder at somebody behind me or trying to shoot somebody in the seat beside me, I think I'd rather have 8 trigger pulls than 5. And if I'm shooting over my shoulder at somebody who's trying to choke me from behind or something like that, I think if I had, say, a 38 going off right adjacent to my face, my eyes, my ear, that might disable me also.
Well, I
know
think
22 isn't going to be pleasant, but it's something.
The thing to do is if you're starting to get attacked, that's when you reach over and put on your shooting earmuffs first.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Or just drive with
that button Uber gives you, which says, I have a problem. Please call 911 for me.
Yeah, you could drive with electronic muffs on all the time. It'd be a good look,
Not suspicious at all.
And your shooting glasses, yes.
Exactly.
Well, I know you know a lot of guys who know a lot about different self-defense techniques, but I'm curious if somebody has a better idea or if this is something that might
I think you're onto something. Number one, I like your choice of gun. I have no problem with that at all. The idea of doing it left-handed makes a lot of sense because now somebody can't, if they come over the top, they're going to think if you had a gun, you're going to be on your right side and you're protected. You can really jam your left side right up against the door and still get the gun out. The thing I would suggest would be, with an obviously unloaded gun, do a bunch of practice and see how it works. You may end up deciding that rather than cargo pants pocket, I mean, if it works, great. But if it doesn't, there may be an appendix or a cross draw set up for a left-handed draw that you still can conceal carry that would get you there.
Or the pocket of the door, driver's door.
No, I don't want it. I want it on your body.
Yeah, okay.
I really do.
Yeah, the problem with the pocket of the door, and I did experiment with that, but I thought, think of different scenarios. I might be stretching out my body or twisting to deal with somebody and trying to reach in the cargo door or the door. I may not find it.
Right.
All right, I'm going to give you...
Get disoriented. Things aren't where you think they were.
All right, I'm going to give you a drill to practice, and you'll get it immediately because it makes sense as soon as you hear it. One of the tricks or one of the things we see people do in cars when they draw is they end up pointing the gun at their own thigh as they're coming across. You draw it, and then you sweep it across. Practice this, again, unload a gun or a blue gun, draw it, and then smack the gun against the steering wheel with the gun pointing out the front windshield. And then you just let it ride up in an arc over the top of the steering wheel and around to the right, and now it just comes around on point. That way you guarantee you're not pointing it at yourself at any point.
Yeah. because I could see you accidentally shooting your right arm, shooting left-handed at somebody in the right seat.
You bet. Absolutely. And it's something to be very, especially if you're trying to fight them off, it's like, okay, the goal here is to not get shot, and that includes you doing the shooting of yourself.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Well, I first of all, I think you've made a wise decision. If Uber doesn't want to carry a gun, then they don't have to carry a gun. But you're not Uber. You simply use the service, and you got to take care of you. I think that's very smart. And
as you said, nobody can make you tell the truth if they don't deserve the truth. But I think that also has to do with signing away your rights. And yes, there's a service agreement with Uber, but I don't consider any part that says, and you give up your right to survival as having any validity.
And the other part of it is, if you have to shoot somebody who's trying to kill you, do you really care about their terms of service? No, not at all. All right. Well, I do some experimenting with it, if you would. And I would ask you to, you're doing the range report with an unloaded gun and see what system ends up working for you. And then give us a call back at some point and let us know what's working, okay?
Roger that. Keep a good thought.
All right, good deal. Very good.
Yeah.
See,
Go ahead. I was
ahead,
going to say, commend you for doing the what ifs right now.
Yeah.
And obviously been practicing them for a while with all these thoughts.
Yeah.
And the what ifs prep the mind so that you don't have to come up with a solution, real time.
Right.
Or you have a couple. Yeah.
Yeah, because you would think, all right, well, left-handed, it can still steer, I can put my arm down, but still, when you're pulling and having to come across, who knows?
See me, I'm a tinkerer, so I would devise an ejection seat and then just forget to cut the hole in the roof.
Oh, you need a Batman car.
Yeah, just compress them right into the top of
And
the
you got the little flip-up cover on the stick shift deal, so you got the red button under there. I like it.
Q trained me.